to you.
Christina, thank you. The first wrongful death lawsuits in connection with the Montecito mudslides are going to be announced this morning. One is being filed on behalf of the heirs of 73-year-old Peter Florat, who died after being swept out of his home in January. That suit named Southern California Edison as a defendant. Attorneys have previously sued Edison, claiming that last December's Thomas fire was caused by faulty electrical equipment. They say the fire burned away vegetation, creating conditions that led to the mudslides in January. Edison has said it does not speculate about litigation associated with the mudslides or the fire. The lawyers that represent more than 200 people who lost properties related to the mudslide fire, there's now 200 of them who are involved in these potential lawsuits.
City of Sacramento remains on edge less than 2 weeks after the deadly police shooting of a 22-year-old unarmed black man. A funeral for Stephon Clark is set for today, but tensions remain high in the city, and authorities are preparing for additional protests. KTLA's Mark Mester is in the newsroom with more. Mark.
Megan, good morning. It has been 11 days since Stephon Clark was killed. Protesters still calling for accountability from Sacramento police and also city leaders. Just some of the demonstrations that have been happening since this fatal shooting happened, as I mentioned, 11 days ago. The death has sparked numerous protests throughout Sacramento. 2 officers opening fire on Clark. That happened March 18th. They pursued him right into his grandparents' own backyard while they were responding to complaints of an individual who was breaking car windows. Officers shooting 20 rounds at Clark, saying that they believe that he was armed. Police only found a cell phone on him. More rallies are planned after today's memorial.
People want to be heard, and we have to give them that opportunity.
What they're doing right now, stopping people from going into the Kings game, acting all silly at City Hall of all places, and in front of the mayor and the council members, that was totally wrong.
Since the shooting, protesters blocking basketball fans from entering Sacramento Kings basketball games. You heard it in the soundbite just a few moments ago. And some disrupted a city council meeting earlier this week, demanding the 2 officers be fired and also prosecuted. They're currently on paid administrative leave while the investigation is underway. For the past 2 days, the group Black Lives Sacramento has been protesting outside the county's district attorney's office. They plan on being there today as well. Meantime, the lawyer for Clark's family says that they lost all trust in the Sacramento Police Department.
After they executed Stephon Clark, shooting him 20 times in his backyard, 5 feet from where his grandmother has to sleep every night, they then came and said the reason they had to do that was because he had a gun. And then they had to walk that back the next day, and then they tried to allege that he had a toolbar, a crowbar, and then they had to walk that back, and then finally they had to admit all he had was a cell phone. So the family of Stephon Clark doesn't trust anything that comes from the Sacramento Police Department.
And currently, the state of California is investigating this fatal shooting, but Clark's loved ones are calling for an independent autopsy. The Reverend Al Sharpton is going to be delivering the eulogy at today's memorial. We'll have much more in the story coming up throughout this newscast. Eric, let me send it back to you in the studio.
All right. It's me. The nigga you love, the nigga you love not to understand. You know, when I heard about this terrible situation, a young man getting shot, you know, you gotta understand, not only is it a cold game, but it's you know, how it ends, how it seems to always end is with some kind of with some sorts of with some sort of pain, okay? And the pain usually can generate from basically fear or a lack of understanding or not really caring or whatever, you know. The point I'm trying to make, I'm trying to get to what I want to say, and what I want to say is 18. Listen, like I told y'all, 1989. This is 1989 because I had my first job. Actually, I had my first job in after I graduated from high school. I had my first job working for this temporary agency, working at a condom factory. Right? Actually, it wasn't a condom factory. It was a condom for women. It's called Sponges. Some gross. But anyways, that's another story. Then my second job was at the Anaheim Stadium. That the late Mother Williams from church got me the job because she retired from there, the Anaheim Stadium. So she got me the job, my first job, my second job there. And then my third job was working at a store. When my ex-wife got pregnant with my first daughter, I was working at this place called Quick Corner. And you have to understand, you know, I'm in Garden Grove, right? This is Garden Grove, and I came into the store. I don't know if I saw the signs saying you're hiring, or if I read it in the paper, in the job ads, or whatever. I forgot. All I know is I got the job, and the way I got the job was, and I found this out later, because I guess when people get involved in your business, you know, it doesn't matter who it is, whoever gets involved in your business, people are gonna, you know, be on you, you know. So you have to understand, propaganda, misleading information, all that stuff comes from some kind of, you know, source. But you never know what the source is, because sources can be anything. But anyway, that's another story. So the job was the hours they wanted me to work was from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And the reason why they wanted me to work there, or the reason why I got the job for that period, was basically for those hours, you know. Like I said, I was going to Garden Grove, right? And they were having, I found this out later on, after I've been working there for a while, that they've been having a lot of beer runs. Now, I wasn't even drinking during this time, so I didn't know what a beer run was. And they told me what it was, but I didn't think it nothing serious, because I wasn't raised around people drinking alcohol like that, you know. So I didn't it didn't sink deep in my brain, because I never experienced that type of thing. Because beer runs, I didn't even know what that was until later, you know. But they did tell me what it was, but I didn't think it was that serious, right? All I know is at 2 o'clock or 15 minutes before 2, I was supposed to lock the beer stuff up, right? And I didn't really catch it. Why are you locking it up? You know, the purpose of you working there in the first place, you getting the job, is because this store was ran pretty much by Asians, and it was ran by Asians, and a lot of, you know, white people lived around there. Yeah, mostly white, I think. And then, but in the morning, I would get pretty much all races in the morning, because people would come in there before they go to work. And it also was a it was a store like a 7-Eleven or AM/PM. This is 1989. So before, it was like an AM/PM or a 7-Eleven, but it also was a deli where they make sandwiches. So I had to make sandwiches and stuff, and I just followed directions on how to make them, and they used to like my sandwiches. They used to like them, and and that's when I really first. I always cooked a little bit growing up, being around, sisters and stuff. My mom, so I mean, I could sometimes you just do things naturally that you're used to doing. So they used to tell me how good my sandwiches were that I made them. I'm like, what? So I didn't really find it seriously, but I just, it wasn't my passion, to really be no cook, which I could have been a cook if I went to Marines. They offered me that MOS, but I thought that was for suckers. I thought cooks were for suckers. Couldn't find out a lot of people in my church were cooks. They were Marines. And I never knew that because no one ever talked about it. Anyway, that's another story. So I'm working there, right? And I'm like, it's graveyard shift, and that's when I started writing my raps, and stuff. When I found out my daughter, my ex-wife was pregnant with my daughter, my first daughter, and so I would write raps, from all those hours working, no one there, usually empty, and so I would read all those books they had over there, and anyway, so one time, this dude comes in. This before 1:30. This is between like 11, between like 12 and 2. This white dude comes in, right? Little white. I don't know I forgot how big he was. He wasn't that big. He wasn't bigger than me. All I know is he comes in, and I'm watching him and everything, but I'm not really watching him like that because I think he would do that, He didn't look like that type, Not because he was white, but just because he didn't look like that type because I didn't really, think that it was that serious, But he's gonna take the beer and almost like he wanted to do it out of spite, And that's the thing. People don't know. Sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it. See, that's the thing about it. Sometimes it's not what you do in life, it's how you do it. And in a particular moment, an emotion can get you, get you in some serious, in a serious situation. You know what I'm saying? So when he took the beer, he looked at me like, like I wasn't gonna, do nothing. Or whatever, he just looked at me and give me a little, and walk out the store with the beer. Just walk out the store. 2 beers, not just one, but 2, right? So I'm like, I know this dude ain't, I thought he had somebody up there in the car or something, the way he was acting, So, I saw him walk out. I stepped out. I stepped out. I watched him, and he cut, and he looked at me, and it's like he started running. But I really can't remember exactly how. I'm just kind of guessing because, I'm trying to make it more dramatic. But all I know is I was mad. I was mad not because of I can have the beer. I don't give a damn. They ain't paying me that much money. I don't give a damn about the beer. I've had this one black dude walk in. I don't know. This might have been after. No, this might have been before or after. But I think it was before. That might be the reason why I did it. Because when the black dude walked in, these guys are there's 2 or 3 dudes, right? And I ain't no dumbass. We're right off the freeway, so he walked in, and I had already had the doors locked, and he walked in trying to get the beer. I said, no, there's no beer. So he just went and went to the other side and got some because I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out because wine coolers are also alcohol, but they didn't have they don't have the wine coolers locked up. They were on the other side where there's no lock. So he just opened the door and got the wine cooler and walked out. And I ain't going after them. I'm gonna walk after them niggas. Get that 3 niggas too. I had that nigga. Have a good night, nigga. So. But I didn't say that. I just looked at him. Matter of fact, I didn't say one word to him. I just said, no, there's locked. And he just grabbed it, walked out with it. Even his boy said, "Man, you just gonna walk out with it?" Yeah, man, he ain't selling no brew. And I'm like, whatever. Y'all can down niggas go have a good time with y'all wine coolers, whatever. So, anyways, and so the next time the white dude came in, he took it and just walked out, and I was like, and there's one white dude too. You think I'm gonna? So when he walked out, I ran after him. I actually ran after him, not because of him taking, just the way he did it. You know what I'm saying? It's not sometimes not what you do, it's how you do it. It's how you do things, And the way the brother did it, first of all, three black people, I can't handle all of them. I'm not gonna get myself killed over no damn over this. But the white dude, not because he was white, but just the way he did it, And so I was gonna teach his ass a lesson. I was gonna beat the hell out of his ass. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna beat his ass. I wasn't gonna kill him. No, I wasn't thinking about that. I was gonna beat his ass just because he disrespected me like that. The way he gonna come in there, and it's almost, and I'm thinking it might have been a setup, But he ran. He started running with two beers in one of each hand, right? Two 6-packs with one of each hand, and he dropped them. He saw me running after. I heard. When I was running to him, I was yelling. I was yelling while I was running, telling him what I was going to do to him when I catch him. So quite naturally, he dropped them. And when he dropped them, they didn't break because I think he dropped them on the grass. And so when he dropped them, I picked them up, came back. It was over. So, but if I would have caught him, tell him what I would have done. I can't speculate what I would have done or how I would have handled it. He might have tried to fight back, He might have pulled something out. Or he might have pulled out a gun. I don't know. I could have got killed. You know what I'm saying? Or he might have, he might have dropped it, pulled something out. I might have got him before he pulled it out, took it from him, and used it on him. But just out of anger. So you never know. A situation until you're in it. You feel me? So I'm watching the brother, right? He's sitting there jumping over buildings, jumping over houses, and I told somebody this about because I was he said, oh well, he does that all the time. Nigga, do you do that all the time when cops are chasing you? But anyways, that's what I'm trying to tell you. All right, you gotta understand everything when you are nowadays. Everybody got. I don't think just black now. See, that's the problem. It shouldn't be just black knowing everything, because all it's gonna be is just fear. Because if all we know is if we're black people, we're the only ones that know everything, know how things are. Believe me, the more you know, the more fearful you're gonna be. The more knowledge, if it says that in the word, you know what I'm saying? The more I forgot how it says it, or what the verse is, or where it's located, but I know it says something referring to this, because the Bible has everything referring to everything because like I said, all you gotta do is read my history that I put out, and you understand why it's like that, you know what I'm saying? So, the more you know, the more issues you're going to have within yourself, which is fear. It all relates to fear, right? So he's running out of fear with a cell phone. You think he's paying? Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody holding it or having it in their pocket. So if he's running with a cell phone, the police don't know what it is, and even if the cop know what it is, his job is to do what? What's the police job when he's out there on the street? The job of that's what people don't understand. They don't understand the purposes in life. The police officer job out there on the streets, his whole job is to make arrests. That's how he gets. His job is to make an arrest, to not make an arrest himself. It ain't gotta be him. So he has to be his job is to find a way to. He gets points on how many arrests, how many people he took off the streets. So if you're taking people off the streets and your job is is set up in this kind of way to be. Who do you think is gonna get the fall for that? You know, who do you think is gonna get the fall for that? Who do you think they're gonna be after? Why you think they have this and why they have that? But what I'm trying to make the point about it is that you got to understand the whole system of how it runs. Okay, you have to have it's just like when you go to jail. Just like when when you go to jail, you just follow these. You go here first, you go here second, you go here. The steps. Military, same way. You go here, set up just like jail. School, same way. You go to this class, learn here. Go to this class, learn this. Go to this class, learn this. Go to this class, learn this. It's all steps in life. But when you're out there in the world and you're out there in the wilderness type, there's no rules. There's no rules at all. Okay? No rules. You got a cell phone in your hand? No, that's not a cell phone. That's a gun. Nighttime too, nigga? It's nighttime. You jumping over houses. You think this cop want to go sit there and chase you over? He has to do it. It's his job. So you think that if I run into that white dude down the street and here I got to leave the store, I got to risk my job. Say for instance, the white dude left with beer in his hand and I run after him because I'm mad. First of all, I could be fired for leaving the store. I shouldn't have left the store. If the supervisor or if a customer come in there and see I'm not there and run down the street, guess what? I don't care if he ran or if what I'm doing. What am I doing chasing the doggone customer or anybody because they stole some beer? That ain't your job, nigga. If you leave the store, you let them go in and leave. But I left and ran after him from anger because I want to hurt his behind for disrespecting me. That was an insult to my intelligence of him doing what he was doing. That's why I would have got fired if I would have got caught. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand the police officer's job, he has to do that. It's not like he can say, oh, I ain't chasing him. I'm just going to fall and break my neck. No, he has to go out there and do it. He has to chase these people. You got helicopters, out there, got the light on him. At nighttime, helicopter can crash into those wires, a telephone wire. He got to navigate. That's his life. So you're risking all these lives because you want to be running for what? For what reason? Because you don't want to. You already got 2 felonies, or how many felonies you got? You already got this and that in your record. You going home and you going home. Why the hell would I go home? And why the hell would these people sit there and be on his side? You think if I would have went home growing up, my dad would have killed my ass. They would have whipped my ass. They would have helped me with my. Then I'm gonna sit there and run home, nigga. That's the last place you need to run, especially if you know what you're doing wrong. Oh, well, maybe he wasn't doing wrong. Maybe he's running out of fear because he wasn't at fault. Nothing. That should be the issue. That's what I want to know. Tell me why he was what he had did and why he was running. Because if he gets shot, or something that happens when he gets get there for, and then he ain't did nothing, and there's no reason for him to do it. But you got the helicopter, got people chasing you. You did something, and if you didn't do nothing, at least you got people. If you sit there, if you're not running, right, you're not resisting arrest, you're not evading the police, okay. Why would they sit there and shoot you? If you sit there and you just lay down or stop when they tell you to stop the first time, and you can overly emphasize. You can lay down and have the things and whatever. I mean, I'm not saying they won't kill you still, but what I'm saying is you have a better chance that way than sit there running, jumping over houses. When it was something in your hand, you give it them. You pretty much give it them the okay to do what they want to do. But I'm just saying, because people, I'm talking about the people still have to live. These kids that still gotta live. That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about you grown niggas who sitting there protesting and trying to just get some money. That's all. That's what this is about. Because like President Donald Trump said, what do you have to lose? Since he's dead, you might as well play this riot thing and maybe get some money from it. That's what I don't know. That I could be wrong for saying that. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. But it's just something I feel like that's what this whole thing is set up for. They sit there, they put you in a situation, okay, put you in a situation, act like you this, act like you that. When you do this, do that, now they do this and that. So it's a system. It's just a cold game. That's all it is. Put you in a situation, push you into a situation. I remember my mom when I got the military, my mom used to always have insurance for me. She used to show me. Every time I see her, she emphasize and show me that she got insurance, life insurance on me, and because she would always ask me, do I have life insurance? Do I have life insurance? This is when I first came out the military. And I wasn't working or anything like that, so first thing she did was put life insurance on you. Because if you ain't working, nigga, if you ain't making no money, you gonna get yourself in trouble eventually, Especially if they see you, doing this and doing that. So she would emphasize and let me know that she got life insurance. So that was a way of telling me that this is where you're gonna end up being if you don't get yourself, get yourself where you need to be. So I won't have to do this, in other words, get your own life insurance. Why should I have to have you dead and not be able to bury you, or have to pay to bury you, or have to pay extra to bury you, or have to go out there and beg to bury you, stuff like that. Not to say that she didn't have the money or whatever, just the fact that why should she have to pay the whole thing? Why could you pay your own burial? Why would you have to be in a situation? But I've seen people I saw one of my daughters. I saw her in the middle of the street on the islands in the middle of the street, in the middle of the intersections, not the intersection, the busy street, not the islandings. She was in there with her and a couple other people with signs about help us pay for my father's funeral. I was like, what? And I'm thinking, wow, yeah, she was going to my daughter's school. She was going to my daughter, and my daughter go to a private school. So I'm thinking, how her father don't have no money if she was going to a private school. But you never know what people's situations is. You never know what a person's situation is, and so I want people to understand that you out there doing what you're doing. Remember that you're doing stuff that's going to affect other people one way or another, whether it's good things you're doing or whether it's bad things you're doing. Whatever thing you do in life is going to affect somebody. Okay? So you have to just remember that there's a reason for everything. I'm not saying that the police didn't shoot him on purpose or try to kill him. I'm not saying that. Don't be saying that. I'm sitting there trying to take up for the police and no. I believe they might have done that. They might have shot him on purpose. But if you give a person a reason, you're giving the person a choice. I'm not gonna give you no choice. Because I'm not going to give you no reason. Because that's the only time you get a choice. Is if you basically are able to choose when someone gives you a reason. And he was sitting there running at nighttime with something in his hand. And it don't even have to be nothing in his hand. It didn't have to be nothing. They could have said there's nothing. They could have said, even with nothing in his hand, they still could have said they thought something in his hand. And they still could get off. Even if his hands was empty. You see, they got paid. They still getting paid. Administrators and leave. You know. So you have to understand, when you out there doing anything negative, I don't care what it is, you are at fault. You are wrong. So you could be right, but you could be dead right. You know what I'm saying? So people, that's the way I grew up. See, that's the thing. That's how I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. You know, we grew up and we were taught to basically use your common sense. Okay, because once you go deeper into something, you're going deep. Trust me, you're going deep, and sometimes there's no way out of that. So don't even start. Whatever you start, you know, sometimes that's how you gotta finish, you know. So people need to. I'm not talking about just black people. I'm talking about everybody. White, black, Mexican, Chinese, Samoan, what else? India, whatever. We all need to be educated on things about everything, because when you're educated about what things really are, that's another reason. Education. We educate ourselves to learn what? To learn things to better ourselves, right? Now, if we all have the same education, if we have all different types of education, okay, which we do, and that's the problem. We all have different type of educations. We do. We're taught different. We teach ourselves. We teach different. How are you teaching? Are you teaching out of love? Are you teaching out of fear? Are you teaching out of hate? Are you teaching out of... Are you even teaching? You know? Because everything starts from when you're young. From when you're young, when you're born. My daughter, I would teach her how to suck the pacifier at 2 hours old, and she was listening to me. You know, she still listens to me. She's 13 now. She still listens to me. You know, I'm not saying that she does everything I say that she did. She does everything I say, and does it how I do it, or does it how I say to do it. But she does listen.